Welcome back. The Transport Department says the driver's license card production machine is back in full production. This follows a major backlog of 350,000 cards for the past 5 weeks. The department says this was due to a malfunction in the main machine that prints licenses. Let's get you the latest on the story. We're joined this morning by the Transport Department's spokesperson, Colin Msibi, joins us via our video link this morning. Colin, it's great to see you. Thanks very much indeed for coming on. And it's good news that the machine is back in action. But of course, the question that we keep asking you and other officials is, when will we get another one?
Well, it's quite a good question. We are as anxious as you are because this machine is 25 years old. It's quite an old machine. So it is quite important that we get another one. So the process to do so, we've gone to Cabinet and they approved a process to have a new driver's license card. And the forecast date to Cabinet, it was April 2024. But as a department, we've pushed that forward. We want to do that within this financial year. So we're quite confident that by end of this financial year, we should be able to tell the nation that we do have a new card system, but we also have new machines.
Yeah, so you're saying that we'll have a new card system, but we'll also have 2 machines operating at the same time, as opposed to just a single one?
Well, put it this way, we'll have new machines with backup, so we're not quite sure in terms of the configuration as I sit here, because it's part of the tender process that is being undertaken at the moment. But indeed, we're going to have new modernized machines. You must understand, this machine we have, it's been there since 1998, so it's quite an old technology. So we're going to have a new technology in place, and we are quite confident we won't have these problems we're having at the moment.
So what is the cost involved, Colin, and what are the timeframes involved?
Well, in terms of the cost, I cannot say this is part of the tender process which is taking place at the moment, and that's a highly regulated environment. So I cannot disclose what's in there and who has applied and so forth. But I can say that in terms of the timeframes, we're looking at this current financial year. We will start with a pilot project for 4 months so that we can see if this system does work for us. And thereafter, then we'll roll it out full-blown throughout the country. Yeah.
I mean, this machine that we've had since 1998, as you say, it's broken down so many times over the years. It's caused massive backlogs repeatedly. The latest backlog is now 350,000 driver's licenses that are outstanding. What has taken so long for us to get to the process now of trying to procure a new machine or an additional machine?
Well, the part of it is that you would understand when we went to Cabinet, there was a process to have a service provider on board. We even advertised the tender. This was last year already. And I think in November. And when we went out, there were bids that were submitted, but it was a non-award situation. In other words, we couldn't find a suitable service provider to do this work. So this is the second round that we've been into. So we're hopeful that this second time round, we're going to be able to find a suitable service provider to do this work.
So the latest backlog now at 350,000 cards. That's just from the past 5 weeks of our machine being out of action because of this missing part, this broken part. How long does it now take to clear that backlog?
Well, we've said in our statement that it's going to take us up to the end of August. You must understand, this is, while it is old, it is a machine that can be able to push quite a lot of production. So we're looking at end of August. I mean, we've said that over the past 25 years, it has printed over 60 million driver's license cards. Just the past 2 financial years, I mean, we've done over 2.8 million on average in terms of the cards. So basically what I'm saying to you is that we are quite confident that we'll be able to deal with the backlog by end of August.
And for motorists who are part of this backlog, what is their advice here? Do we still work on an appointment system with the department?
Well, it's business as usual. We said even right from the beginning when we announced that the machine is giving us problems, we said people must go and enroll in terms of getting their driver's license card. We continue to say so. Of course, there are people who are having their temporal license. We've got the slip. If you've applied, you can always keep that. But we also want to say these people who have applied for driver's licenses and they are sitting at the DLTC, people must go and collect those driver's license cards. Because people say, I haven't received my driver's license card and yet it is sitting at the DLTC. So we're saying go out and get those cards. But those, of course, who have just applied recently when you had the problem, they would have to wait a little bit, but they can use their slips and their temporal licenses to produce when they are stopped by a law enforcement officer.
Yeah. Colin Sibi, thank you for your time this morning, the spokesperson in the Transport Department, as we get you an update on the driver's license production machine, which apparently will be back in full production. There is that backlog of 350,000 cards.